Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and in this video I will show you next candlestick pattern. So this is going to be another episode of my candlestick pattern series basically. And today I will take a look at two candlestick patterns, morning and evening star patterns. So I think the simplest way to explain how these patterns look like and its rules is by showing you right here. So I went to this website morpher.com where you have different candlestick patterns, as you can see here. And so I will be creating or I will be coding the morning star and evening star pattern based on the rules that are right here. So yeah, let's start with the rules. So basically what we can see from this picture is that the morning and also the evening star pattern consists of three candlesticks. And we can check the other conditions right here. So the first candlestick is bearish candlestick with relatively small shadows. Okay, so there's our first condition. The second condition is that the second candlestick has a small green or a red body, so it doesn't really matter whether it's bullish or bearish candlestick. That's really important to know. And short shadows. Okay, this candlestick forms at the lower end of the first candlestick. Okay, so this is also a very important section. And then the third candlestick is a bullish candlestick. Okay, so it's this one that indicates strong buying pressure and potential. Okay, the body of this candlestick has to be at least the same size as the first candlestick or bigger. Okay, so from this, I think it's pretty clear what the steps will be in the coding part. And I think the best approach to this is to start with the morning star pattern. And when we have function for the morning star, then it will be very easy to modify the function in order to get this evening star pattern as well. So yeah, let's get to it, I guess. So I will open my MT5 editor, and I'm here in my candlestick patterns script, where we have our previous candlestick patterns as well. So yeah, if you haven't seen the previous videos, please go check them out, because I code there the hammer pattern, inverted hammer pattern, and also the engulfing pattern, so that might be interesting for you. Okay, just before we start, I just want to tell you that I've created a website that you can find in the link or in the description of this video, and you can get a lot of free indicators there. So go check it out if you want. If you don't want free indicators, then don't. Yeah, so that's it, and let's start. So I will scroll down here, and I will create I think void function. So void function won't return any value, and I will call it, was it evening star or morning star? Okay, we wanted to start with the morning star. So morning star function, and it's going to be the same as with the previous functions. We need the shift parameter, so we know with which candlestick are we working. Okay, and yeah, so I think the best way is to firstly get the data for all of the three candlesticks that we will be working with, and after we get that data, we can we can continue with our conditions. Okay, so let's create a double variable called now I have to choose the right name for the variable. So let's call it just third, okay, or high underscore 3. Okay, so this will correspond with this candlestick right here. Okay, so this is the first one, second one, and the third one, so the last one. Okay, so that's how I will like name these variables. So, and let's assign its value to it. So symbol period, and now we have to think about the shift, because we will be calling the function. If we check it here, we will be calling the function on this candlestick. Okay, so this candlestick is the current shift that we will be receiving in the function, and then we have to like go 3 candlesticks back. So that's what we will do here. So the shift for the high will be shift parameter plus 3 candlesticks back. And now I'll just copy it here. So high, low, open, and close. Okay, and so I low, I open, and I close. Okay, so now we have all the information for the last candlestick, and what I will do now is that I will copy all of this, paste it here and also here, and now I'll just change like now this is going to be for the second candlestick, and this is going to be for the first candlestick. Okay, so that's just what I will do right here. Okay, so just bear with me here. I'll just change these shift numbers, and yeah, seems okay. So now we can start with the conditions. So let's go back to the page here, and let's start with this one. Okay, so the first candlestick is bearish candlestick with small shadows. So we have to check 2 conditions here. The first is whether it is a bearish candlestick, so that's the first one, and then if the shadows are small. I think here it is meant in a way that they are relatively small in comparison to the rest of the candlestick, so to its body. Okay, so yeah, let's check it. So I will create a boolean variable called something like third candle. Okay, let's set it to false as an initial value, and then we will create an if statement that will check all of our conditions for the third candlestick. So we want to firstly check if it's bearish. So if open is higher than close, okay, then we want to continue. Okay, so if this is correct, our first condition for our third candlestick is met, and we can proceed. And if this happens, we will do something like okay, double. Let's create variable called body. Okay, so in this so this will be like the distance of or the size of the candlestick's body, so that will be open minus close. Okay, and then we also want to know the size of the shadows or the wicks. Okay, so the wick, and that will be equal to, so firstly we have to get the high minus low, and then we want to extract or decrease the value by the body size, and then we get the shadow size. Okay, and then we can there's like a room for improvisation, or not improvisation, but we can like now we have to like be clear on what is the ratio that we are aiming for. So what I would start with is something like if wick times 2 is still smaller than the body, then I would say that our third candle is okay. Okay, so here this is the value that we can change and like experiment with, but for the initial if else statement, I think 2 times is relatively okay. So yeah, this is the if-else statement for our third candlestick. So now let's proceed. So for the second candlestick, what do we have to check? Okay, it has a small green or a red body, so we don't have to check its type, but it has short shadows. Okay, so it really doesn't tell us that much because yeah, like we don't have any information about its about the size of the body here. Okay, so we don't have that much information. So let's check the picture and let's create our own conditions for this. So the first condition that is clear from the picture is that the higher wick is larger than the lower wick. Okay, so that's pretty clear based on the picture. Then also it's pretty clear that the higher wick is bigger than the body of the candlestick. Okay, so that's also pretty clear. And we can say something like that the start of the, or the end of the, no. Okay, let's go with these how do you call them? These conditions first, and if we don't like the outcome of these conditions, then we can like change them and make it like even more strict. Okay, so let's go back here and let's do the exactly the same thing. So boolean second candle. Okay, so the initial value will be false, and let's check for our conditions. So okay, so what we want to do is that we want to obtain the size for the higher shadow, the body, and the lower shadow. And because we don't know whether the candlestick is bullish or bearish, what we have to do is that we have to know which, like, because the only difference is whether the opening price is higher than the closing price. So what I will do is that I will create a variable for the higher value. So higher val will be equal to max of close to and open to. Okay, and with this we will get the higher value. And then what I can do is that I can create a variable called higher wick size that will be equal to high of the second candlestick minus the higher value. Okay, so by this higher wick size will store the distance of, like, I know it's not going to be that visible, but starting at the high of the wick to the start of the body. Okay, so that's what I have here. And I will also do lower value, which I can get by calling this mathmin function, and in there I will also use these two variables. And so this is higher wick size, then I can do lower wick size, which will be equal to lower value minus the low of the second candlestick. Okay, and yeah, then also I can create call it the size body, and I can just like calculate it like this. So higher value minus the lower value, and this is all the information that I need. Okay, so let's proceed. From the picture we can say something like this. So if body, if size body is larger than lower wick size, and size body, let's say times 2, is lower than higher wick size, then we can say that second candle OK is equal to true. Okay, so this will be just like our initial set of conditions that we can change later on. But since the site doesn't really define the rules that much for the second candlestick, this is what we have so far, or this is what we have to work with so far. Okay, and let's check the conditions for the third candlestick as well. So is a bullish candlestick. Okay, so this is our first condition. We have to check the type of the candlestick firstly. That indicates strong buying pressure and the potential trend reversal. Okay, the body of this candlestick has to be at least the same size as the first candlestick or bigger. Okay, so we have basically two conditions. The first one is that the candlestick has to be bullish, and the second condition is that the body of this candlestick has to be at least the same size as the first candlestick or bigger. And now there's important difference that we have to notice of, or I don't know if you can say it like this, but I think you know what I mean. Here says the body of this candlestick, and the body is like the candlestick without its shadows, so it's this like green filled zone. Okay, has to be at least the same size as the first candlestick or bigger. And when they say the candlestick here, or the first candlestick, they refer to the whole candlestick with the wicks. Okay, so we don't compare like the body of candlesticks, but we compare the whole candlestick with the body of the first candlestick right here. So that's a very important difference that we have to notice. Okay, so let's go. So let's create a Boolean variable called first candle, okay, which will be false. And okay, so if now this is the bullish, so if close one is higher than open one, then we are working with a bullish candlestick, so we can proceed. And yeah, so then we have to check for its size. So if okay, so let me think. So if close one minus open one, so this is the body of the candlestick, is higher, so it has to be higher than high 3 minus low 3. So this is basically our two conditions, and if this is true, then we will assign a new value to the first candlestick OK Boolean variable. So I think this is all that we need, and the only thing that that remains to do is to visualize the pattern. So yeah, let's get to it. So if first candle OK and second candle OK and third candle OK, so all of the candlesticks are have met our conditions, then we can visualize our pattern. So yeah, so I will visualize it by creating a rectangle. So chart ID is 0, object name. So I think I had some prefix, okay? So prefix plus, is it morning? Morning star, okay. Morning star plus time variable and with the shift, okay. And what I will do that I will create a string called name, and I will paste it here, and then I will just type name in here. Okay, so this is better. Then the type, so object rectangle, and now it requires four parameters. The first one is the first time, okay. So when we, just to explain, when we open a chart here and I want to create a rectangle, I create it like this, and basically this is the first time, this is the second time, and then we need like the upper value and lower value. Okay, so these are the 4 parameters that you have to insert there. So the first time is going to be that's time symbol period, and now it's shift plus 3. Let's start with this. If it doesn't look that well, we can shift it even more, but let's start with this. Now we need the max value, and by the definition, or no, there's, okay, so let's go with math max, high of 1 and high of 3. I think in every case it should be the high of 1, but I'm not entirely sure, so just to make sure I will use this math max function. Okay, then the second time, which is i.time of symbol, period, and shift. Now I will leave it like this. Maybe it needs shift plus 1, so we like shift it to the end of that pattern, but let's stick with this for now, and if it doesn't look alright, I will change it later. And then it needs the minimum value, which should be low of the second candlestick, I think. Now what we can do, we can set some integers to it, so name, so let's object prop color, let's, I don't know, light blue, something like this. Okay, so we have some issues here. What's the issue? Yeah. Perfect. So now we have it. So let's, as a first test, let's just run the morning. Let's just run the function here, and let's see what happens, and then we can modify the code. So candlestick patterns, and I will disable all of our previous patterns, and let's see what happens. Does anything happen? Okay, something happens. As you can see, there's not like, okay, so this is, where was it? So this is what it looks like, which is okay, I guess. Like, I'll just change one thing with the visualization, which is shift to 4, as I've guessed before, because now this shifts right here and it looks better. So this is what we get, and yeah, it's like the pattern that we are looking for, basically. But the downside is that there's not, like, there's one pattern. If we zoom out, there's second pattern, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So it doesn't occur that often, as you can see. We can try going to lower time frame. So for example, if we focus, okay, where was it? It was here. So if we focus on this, what can we see? Yeah, this also looks okay in my opinion. Okay, so now how can we improve this? Because, like, you don't want, like, this pattern should occur pretty often. Let's say not that often, but I think this is not something we want. So let's think of the way how to make the pattern to show more often. And I think the only way that we can change there, or the only thing that we can change there, are basically these multipliers here. Okay, because this is the part where we can change, like, how strict it is. Okay, so if I change some like 1.5 and 1.5, okay, if I change just something like this, I think we will see more candlestick patterns. I hope that we will see more candlestick patterns. Okay, there's the second one, but yeah, we don't. So okay, and we forgot one more condition, as you can see here, and that is that the and high of 1 is higher than high of 3, something like this. We didn't check, like, okay, and now we are without any patterns. So this is pretty funny. Yeah, like, I don't think that there's something bad with the code itself. I just think that the rules are pretty strict, and therefore the occurrence of these patterns is such low. Because yeah, it's a different thing when you can like look on the screen or the chart, and then you can like find something similar to the pattern, and therefore like you can say that that's the pattern that you were looking for. But when you have like strict rules for the pattern, you can see what it can do. Then basically it doesn't work. Yeah. If you have found some issue or an error in like a logical part of my code, then feel free to tell me in the comments. But I don't think that I have changed any rules in here. I don't think that I've done that, but it's possible that I did. So yeah, let's check it one more time to see what we can like change here. Okay, so for the third candlestick, this is the type of the candlestick. This has to stay the same. The wick of the candlestick, this also stays the same, and then we check whether the body is larger than the wick. So what I will do is that I will type here something like this. Okay, so like it isn't that strict of a rule here. Okay, so let's continue. So second candlestick, so higher value, lower value. Okay, higher wick size, this is okay. Lower wick size, this is also okay. Size of the body, higher value, over value, this is also okay. So there's no error here. Then we check if size of the body is higher than the wick size, lower wick size, and size of the body, let's change this to the same value here, is lower than the higher wick size. Then let's see. Okay, so this is also okay in my opinion. And the first candlestick, so here we check the type of the candlestick, and then we check close, open. Okay, let's change this to open third minus close, because this might be something that can like cause this. And high is higher than. Let's leave this out for now. Okay, let's just go with this. So like this is the maximum that I can do in order to increase the occurrence rate of the candlestick patterns. So I will close this. I will open a new chart. So candlestick patterns. I don't want to show it. I want to show like this, and let's see what happens. Okay, so here's our first, which looks great, and let's see if we have like more of these patterns. This is the second pattern, this is the third pattern, fourth pattern, fifth. Okay, so like the occurrence or it went up a bit, so like we see more of these patterns than we did previously, but still like this is not something that I like to see. Okay, so I'll just check how long this video already is. 30 minutes. I think that I can also create an evening star because it won't be that difficult. I'll just change the signs there and it should be okay. So I'll just very quickly change this to morning star, so evening star. Okay, and with the rules should be the same. We just like change them. So when there's like a bullish candlestick, we change it to a bearish candlestick, and you get the point, I think. Okay, so this leaves the same. This is the data. Third candlestick. Okay, so the first sign we have to change is this one. Okay, then the body will be close minus open. Okay, high stays the same, and we just check the wick, so this is okay. Then second candlestick. Okay, so higher value, close open, this is okay. Then higher wick size, higher value, this is okay. Lower wick size, lower value. Okay, I'll just check. Okay, so the wick is down there. Okay, so now there will be a little difference here, and that will be that now we want the higher wick to be smaller and the lower wick to be like bigger, let's say. Okay, so here we just want to change higher wick size and here to lower wick size. Okay, so this should be okay as well, I guess. And the first candlestick, so let's change the sign here. So close, it will be open minus close. And yeah, so close minus open 3. Okay, so this should be okay. And let's just change the name to evening star, and also let's change it to color, something like this. So let's go back here and let's run it. So evening star with the shift. So now if we compile this, we should get the evening star signal as well, and we do. So if I zoom in here, this is for example our evening star. Is it evening star? I guess like the rules or the conditions are there. We just like change the values in the conditions to make the signal appear more often. So that's something you can change, but based on our rules, this is an evening star. This is okay. I just messed up here, I guess. Yeah, so here in the creation part. Okay, so yeah, so just let me think. Max, this should be high of 2, and here should be math min of low of the third and low of the first one. So if I change this, yeah, now it looks okay. Okay, so this is a nice evening star in my opinion. And like if we combine morning and evening stars together, then you like receive more signals from it. Okay, so now it's okay, I would say, because you can see that there's a lot of these evening stars. Yeah, so yeah, I think this is okay. So the last thing remains to do, and that is to create the inputs field like for these two patterns. So what I will do is that I will create a new input group called evening slash morning star pattern. Okay, and then I will create two boolean variables. The first one is show evening star set to true. Then I will create input variable for show morning star, which is set to true as well as the initial value, and then I will just change the input color evening star color. Evening star was color maroon, and input color morning star color, I think it was light blue. Sorry. So now what we can do is that we will firstly check if show morning star and if show evening star. Okay, so this is it, and here we will just change the color to evening star color, and here to morning star color. And if we compile all of this and we go back here, we close this, we open a new chart, it doesn't matter which chart, and we zoom back and we find our candlestick patterns file, you can see that there's this new group in the inputs field. So yeah, let's firstly turn all of these other patterns off, and now we can change if it works. So yeah, we can see our patterns. So here, right here, I just don't know if I, okay, right here, yeah, okay. Okay, we also forgot one condition, and that is that the low of the second candle has to be the lowest point of all of these candlesticks, and the same goes for this one. Okay, so that the high of the second candlestick has to be the highest point of all of those three candlesticks. I don't think that I will change it, because if I would change it, like, the occurrence of these patterns would go even lower, and that's not something that I want to do. Okay, so just be aware of this. You can change it in your own code if you want to, but I won't change it in mine. Okay, so let's just check if everything works properly. So now I will disable the evening star, I will enable only the morning star, so this disappears and we only have these morning star patterns. And now I'll just check for the evening star as well, and yeah, we have a pattern here and here, so this works. And as the last thing, I will just set everything to default, and I will check all of the patterns that I can get. Okay, so yeah, this looks nice in my opinion. What I will also probably do is that I will change the width, because I want, like, the visualization part to be the same as with the other pattern. So I will just go here and I will select this width set to 3, and then what I can do, I can go back here, set to 3 as well. So if I compile this, it looks better. Okay, yeah, so this is that's all for this video, I guess. I hope this was helpful and that you know how to, like, work with the candlestick patterns better. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.